Okay, first we're going to start by adding to your dynamic warm-up. So we'll start with torso rotations. You're going to lie on your side with your head supported. This can be just with a regular pillow, anything you have around. Knees are tucked up towards your chest, palms face each other. You're going to open up that top arm, bringing that shoulder blade to the floor behind you. And then come here, back to the beginning. Open up, shoulder blade to the floor. You don't want to think about this hand reaching to the floor because that can cause some unnecessary strain on the shoulder. So rotate the spine and allow the shoulder blade to go down toward the floor. You may not get there, but that's the goal. Opening up and then closing. Excuse me. So we're increasing the active range of motion into rotation for your spine. Next up, we've got the dynamic hamstring stretch. You may be able to do this stretch with your hands on the floor, lifting up and then down. But you may need to elevate your hands a bit. So I just have this box. You can use anything at home. Stagger your stance. Hands are going to be on your step or box. Lift up and then down. Come out. So when you lift up, you're thinking about lifting the tailbone and straightening your front knee. You should feel a stretch in your hamstring. Down and up. You always want to make sure that your hands are supported. Otherwise, you have this free-flowing bend where it's opening up that posterior spine, allowing your disc to protrude a little bit more. Not what we're looking for. The third active stretch that we're going to add is the standing rotation. So you're going to put your right foot out in front of you, and then with your right arm, you're going to reach it back and around, and then come back here. Back and around, and then come back. Okay? So here, we're locking out your pelvis and allowing your spine to rotate on top of your hips, and you'll of course do it on the other side. Left foot in front, left hand up, rotate, and then come back. Rotate, and then come back. So we've added this controlled rotation into your program. The next exercise we're going to do is a strength exercise. You're going to use some tubing attached anywhere mid-hip to chest height. You're going to stand with the anchor to your side, stand, press away. So your feet are going to be relatively close, knees soft, tailbone out. So you're in this athletic stance here. Get your stance, chest up, shoulders back, abdominals drawn in, press away, slowly control the rotation and come back. Press away and then come back. So you can see the tubing wants to pull me into rotation. So you're strengthening those rotators without having to do the rotation itself. So press away. And then of course you turn around and do it on the opposite side. The next exercise that we're going to do is a high kneeling row. So I'm going to use my Eric's pad. You could use a pillow. Same anchor point for your tubing. You're going to tuck your tailbone under, squeeze that glute a little bit, pull back, and reach forward. Pull back, and reach forward. When you're pulling with those scapular retractors, the middle back muscles. Your core has to be engaged more so in this position than in the standing position. You're here, and then reaching forward. And of course, same thing, other side. Tuck your tailbone under, row, and release. Row, and release. And you'll just choose whatever resistance band is most appropriate for you. You want there to be slack in the tubing the whole time. Mine looks a little bit loose, but that's just so I can fit in the frame. Okay, next we're going to go to push-ups. So I'm assuming you're going to want to do these on your knees. Your hips are going to be up just a bit, really engaging your abdominals. Lower down, and press up. Each time you want to think about those shoulder blades pulling down into your back pockets, abdominals drawn up, lower down, press up, lower down, press up. You want your gaze generally to be down so that you're not straining your neck during your push-ups. Push-ups are great. They're good for strengthening your chest, your shoulders, and a lot of core at the same time. Next up is posterior deltoids, or the back of your shoulder. We want to do more exercises for the back muscles than for the front. So you'll notice the only front muscles we did were the chest presses or push-ups this time. So for posterior deltoid, you're going to stand in that nice athletic stance, arms out in front. Draw in your abdominals as if someone was going to punch you in the stomach and you're bracing. That's that type of contraction that you're looking for. Shoulders are down, chest is lifted. Pull out to the sides, slowly come back. Pull out to the sides, slowly come back. So when I'm pulling back, I'm using the back of my shoulder. All of these muscles are having to stabilize, so they're getting a workout at the same time. The primary mover is that posterior deltoid, but you should feel a lot of activity going on back there. And then the last exercise we're going to do today is the staggered hip hinge. So we'll do this with the right foot, and then we'll do a set with the left foot. One foot is going to go in front. Tip your tailbone up. Handstand your hips so that you can feel if you keep that pelvic tilt. We want to do that anterior pelvic tilt. Lean forward and then come up. Anterior tilt, lean forward and come up. So the back leg is going to bend a little bit. Your front leg is staying relatively straight. It has a little bit of softness in it so your knee joint isn't locked out, but it's pretty straight. So I'll show you on the other side. So you're going to do that tailbone tilt, down, and then come up. Down, and come up. So you should be feeling the hamstring length at the bottom of your motion, but throughout the exercise, these back extensor muscles are having to do their work to move you into extension. With any disc problem, you always want to work these back extensors. The more you're in this extended position, the stronger your body is in this position, the less likely you are to continue to protrude posteriorly. If you're forward, there's a big space where your disc can push out backwards. But if you're more upright, that spine closes off the posterior aspect and keeps the disc more centralized where it wants to be. So that's what we're going to work on for this next round, and then we'll add some more exercises after. Let me know how you do.